Alright. I'm not sure how long this has been recording, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot what this mod was about, but I do know it's a Natsuki-centered mod. I mean, load. Where were we? You can actually see. Oh. Hold on. What's the history? Oh yeah. I remember this. So what happened was we were initially like attracted to Yuri, and then Natsuki literally just snatched us from her. It's typical Natsuki play, but what happened was also what was interesting about Monica is that she seems like redeemed in this version as to where she is actually like probably the most like in the last game in Fallen Angel I said it was the smartest version of Monica. This one actually probably is like, or at least the most knowledgeable, because this version of Monica has played through the whole game already, or has been through the game Acts 1, 2, 3, and then deleted the game. And then, because we ended up bringing her back through this mod, she ended up, like, remembering, like, yes, what happens, like, or what is supposed to happen. Like, if she does, or I guess, what she did and what happened because of it, and ultimately that she has to change. And now, rather than being so fixated on us, she's focused on, you know, trying to maintain the club as opposed to, like, ensuring that she ends up with us. That's what I'm trying to say. But because of that, or I guess some of her dialogues changed. Like, she ended up stepping into the argument to try and break it up, not necessarily siding against either girl, as was seen in Fallen Angel, where she was actively siding against Yuri, but she just went in sort of like neutrally, and then ultimately Yuri offered like an apology and like tried to move on, but Natsuki, being the bitch that she is, didn't, and ultimately ran out of the classroom. Got it. You know, it's when seeing stuff like this, I generally say that I have like a favorite and least favorite Doki, but like that I don't hate any of them. But stuff like this is really making it hard to not hate Natsuki, because I mean because like what were we saying? This wasn't supposed to be so one-sided. I mean, she brought this upon herself, because Yuri was willing to let everything go, basically saying, there's no need for us to argue anymore. Let's just drop it and move on. But then Natsuki's like, no, I gotta keep like fucking arguing. And then eventually when everyone's like, stop arguing, just end this, she just like, why is everyone against me? Got it. I really need to play a fucking like mod other than Natsuki. I'm playing so many Natsuki-centered mods, and it's not really improving my view of her. Alright. Before anyone can reply, I scooped her crumpled poem out of the trash and leave the classroom behind me. Was that her original poem? Or no, that was the one she wrote today. The fucking jump poem. But I mean, this, I guess... Alright, anyway. Oh, wait, we learned this in Fallen Angel, just not this mod. So this is gonna be interesting to see how this interaction goes. But also, yeah, I guess. Granted, it made it seem like this wasn't just a Natsuki dance sim, and it was kind of like exit music. That's basically what it made it out seem to be. So like, where it would be like sort of a Natsuki-centered mod where we deal with her problems or whatnot. I remember the wording saying it kept like some of the original horror elements, so that's what I assume. And considering we're learning about her problems, that makes it seem like that we'll eventually learn about like her dad and whatnot and try to fix it. What the hell is she doing? As soon as she sees me, she stands up and goes on the defensive immediately. This is her problem. That's why I fucking hate tsunderes. And like, basically, and like, having such a defensive personality is a sign of insecurity. Like, granted, we can mainly blame it on her father. But I mean, that doesn't mean that she has to ruin everybody else's experience. So people like, granted, Sayori's in an arguably, I'd say Sayori's in a, I don't really know whether Sayori would be in a better or worse situation than Natsuki, because with her problem is mainly mental, I guess. Yeah, her problem is, they're similar in a way, where because of Natsuki's parents, like, she sort of adopted this defensive mentality, or I guess, Yeah, well, abusive parent singular. While Sayori just had it due to depression. So I mean, Sayori, while trying to make everyone happy, Natsuki is just because of like her problems, as opposed to trying to make everyone else happy. She's just incredibly insecure. And then Yuri, I mean, it's Yuri's a bit different. Can't really compare. Yuri and Natsuki are more similar when it comes to like surface levels, so like their friendship. But in terms of like the problems that each of the Dokis have, Sayori and Natsuki are a lot more similar. Yuri's sort of like the odd one out. Cause like I mean she's obviously like obsessive and like selfish, but she's not like defensive as like an insecurity. She's more like that because of like psychological reasons, not really necessarily the environmental impacts on her. But she also kind of like Sayori. Like even though she has her problems, she doesn't, or at least doesn't initially try to like show them. Like Sayori tries to make everyone happy. She doesn't make it about herself. Yuri, she also tries to do the same thing. She's just more so like reserved. She keeps to herself as opposed to like outwardly like, or I guess what would you call it? Outwardly showing her obsession. And then Natsuki is just a bitch. That's basically it. What the hell do you want? Haven't you done enough already? What do you mean we've done enough? I'm so like I'm like this like you can't see, but I'm like this close. There's probably like a centimeter between my thumb and my pointer. I'm this close to dropping the mod right now, just because I hate this so much. Like, I hate every single aspect of this right now. Natsuki, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be so one-sided. Things got a little out of hand. It's true that you shouldn't have spoken to her like that, but she disrespected you too. Your poem was really good, you know? You mean... This is what love does. It really corrupts your rationality. Because, I mean, I guess I can't really say I'm rational when looking at this from a third person, because I have an inherent bias against Natsuki. But, I mean... Yuri, I mean, granted, the only real disrespect Yuri did was call her poem cute, which, I mean, granted, she probably should have used better words, but, I mean, like, you can't really blame her for that. I mean, they were each telling the truth, and then Natsuki went on a whole tangent about how her poem was inferior, Yuri's, and also about, and then she was the first to, like, really insult Yuri, and then Yuri just lashed back, so, like, I mean, I produced the ball sheet from my pocket and unfurled it, taking care not to tear it. I really have to think about where Sayori and Yuri stands in my ranking. Because my ranking of the four Dokis is like, obviously Monika, Sayori, Yuri, and then Natsuki being last. But Yuri and Sayori, I'm more so indifferent towards. And I mean, mods like this, like seeing the bullshit like between Natsuki and Yuri. I guess the thing is, mods like New Eyes, I remember mods like that, and I can't really like apply it, but... Yeah, I don't know. We have already read this poem hundreds of times. Natsuki, this poem is about the feeling of uselessness, isn't it? Seeing so many people around you, achieving so much. That's literally what she said. The feeling of giving up. Were we not paying attention? Yeah, so what? Natsuki, do you feel useless? What do you think? Dummy, don't just come out and ask things like that. Do you even know what tact is? Yeah, you should have just assumed that, but I mean... Even as she says those words, she starts sobbing uncontrollably. Because, I mean, everyone writes about themselves, or at least in the club. Like, the biggest... Who was it? Was it Yuri or, like, Monika? Or, like, the hardest thing to write about is writing to oneself or whatnot. Or, like, when you're writing, you're really writing to oneself. And, I mean, that's basically what everyone does. Surprised we haven't picked up on it. Dummy, dummy, dummy. I'm such a... Place my hand gently on her shoulder. Let's go back to the club room, okay? No, Yuri probably hates me now. I was such a bitch to her. Alright, now this makes me feel better. Because Natsuki's willing to accept this. But I mean, I guess with that sort of personality, you like lash out in anger, and then you realize that, oh shit, I was wrong. Like, I mean, here's the thing. I've said this before. I'm an ass, but I'm not stubborn. So like, if I get into an argument with someone and they're offering to drop it, I basically take it because I'm like, I really don't. Because by that point, if they're offering to drop it, then I'm probably really don't want to be arguing. And then I generally like the two hardest words to say in the English language are I'm sorry. And the three are I was wrong. Don't quote me, quote my wrestling coach, but then apologize to her. Did it really spell apologize wrong? You can at least try, right? I guess I can try. What do you mean try to apologize? Like, even if the words I'm sorry are empty and don't really carry any meaning when you say them. Because there are some situations where I have to say I'm sorry and I'm like, damn, that really sounds fake. You're making an effort, but that's about it. Heh. Oh, that was her poem. Wait, what? Oh yeah, that was in her poem. I forgot. Oh my god, that was so corny, you dummy. Because I thought that she just said that on her own, and I'm like, wait, how do we know that? Is that supposed to be your way of cheering me up? Jeez. Can't help but break into a stupid grin, joining with Natsuki's roush. I have no clue what that word is. Congrats. You befuddled me. Or whatever you call it. Well, it worked, didn't it? Maybe. Shut up. I need a minute, okay? We sat on the benches for a good 5 minutes in silence once the laughter has subsided. It is an awkward silence as such, but each of us seems to be trying to find something to fill. Natsuki sits there swinging her legs back and forth with a half frown, half smile on her face. I just can't figure out. She eventually hops out of her seat and turns to me. Hey, Evan, why'd you come and find me? Well, everything kind of ended on a sour note, and I get that. What I mean is, why, you know? Because the sacredity of, like, the stability of the club and, like, it's basically it remaining together is, like, dependent on everyone getting along. Especially, like, if it were a big club, like, losing one person wouldn't really matter. It'd be drama, but, like, that's normal. But, like, with a small club, I mean, granted, the MC's gonna be like, yeah, you know, because I like you or whatnot, but it's really about, like, maintaining the club. What would you call it? Like, the integrity of the club. Why are you so concerned about me? She had a point. Monica and Suri have been our friends longer than I ever had. I'm surprised they didn't go. What the hell made me just run out there? I mean, I would have ended up doing the same, I'd like to say. Or at least even if it's, like, someone I don't actually, like, really care about. I'm surprised no one else did that. I guess I should be as honest as possible. I mean, granted, Monica made an effort, because she's not really used to, like, actually trying to help the situation. I'm not sure, I just kind of felt like I should. I guess I was just worried about you. Oh, wow, I should be honored. Everyone was worried about little old me. Little as in, that's, like, not figurative, but literal. Yeesh, you're welcome. Well, if you're so worried about me, why don't you take this? Takes a small slip of paper and jots something down. She holds it out at arm's length. It's gotta be something stupid. Take the slip and unfold it. It appears to be a phone number. Alright, not gonna lie. That was pretty smooth. I'm not even gonna lie. That was good. That's like, I'm like, it's gonna be some dumb shit, but that was pretty good. That was smooth. This is, if you tell me when I gave you this, I'll end you. You can try. Pipsqueak. Alrighty then. So if you get worried again, just text me. Or I don't know, just text me, okay? That's literally what you said. What? I get it. Sure thing, Natsuki. Right. It's getting late. We better get back before the club finishes. 1 number down, 3 more to go. Well, we probably already have Sayori's, but so 2 more to go. Yeah, come on, time to face the music, I guess. Literally the music. As we re-entered the club room, everyone sat around looking sullen. Like, did they not talk? Yuri's head perked up as we re-entered the club room. Natsuki. The 2 girls lock eyes. Natsuki begins to tremble slightly. Yuri, I'm sorry that was such a, you know. Before Natsuki can utter another word, Yuri marches up to her and hugs her tightly. This is good. This is remedy. Hey, Evan, I don't know what you said to her, but good job. We just completely ignore them. Now we're with Sayori. Hey, we should probably give them some privacy to hash things out. You ready to walk home? Oh, we're actually leaving now? Yeah, let's go. Okay, everyone, I think that wraps up today's meme. Alright, so no more hidden, like, or like, no more just, like, rash meme with Monica, just out of nowhere. Don't forget to lock up, you two. So 3 of us leave the classroom. I look back at Natsuki. As our eyes meet, she mouths the words, thank you. I nod to her and turn to leave. Alright. Now I'm no longer pissed, because at the beginning of the I was like, I really have to, like, and it, like, in the original argument, we end up picking sides, like, obviously. But because neither of them were worth, like, basically, like, find some sort of middle ground, just, like, compromising and being like, you know, let's drop this, or I'm sorry, whatnot. But in this mod, it made it worse, because Yuri was learning to do that, and then Natsuki just marches off out of the room. Her pride was hurt too much. Sayori. About what happened earlier. Eh, what do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. Oh, I've seen this text, like, the last game. Ooh, this is different. They're kind of BFFs. I've never ever seen them fight like that. Yeah, because in the original game, it's just like, yeah, this doesn't really happen. Promise they're both wonderful people. I guess poetry brings a lot of emotion to the surface. I do remember that being the original game. But I mean, yeah. It's interesting that this game, or this mod refers to them as BFFs. They did seem pretty passionate about it. Because, I mean, I really like the take that, because I never really seen it before exit music. Like, I mean, I've talked about how Yuri and Natsuki were similar people, but exit music really, not exit music, New Eyes. New Eyes really showed that, like, you know, Yuri and Natsuki, they only, I guess, really became rivals when we got involved, or whatnot. You don't hate them, do you? Why would I hate them? I just wanted your opinion, that's all. And see why they make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Raven, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. We're just going to completely ignore this comment. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It's going to be interesting at the very least. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. But we do know that the MC in this game is like making attempts to like... He's really just like... This game, I've said this before, but this game is like the perfect iteration of the MC, so... I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori's an internal monologue sometimes. Damn, but they still don't get rid of this disrespecting dialogue. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to this. Alright. Oh. And I love... Okay, that's not the line you want to hear. Did we... Wait a second. Oh no, that's normal. For whatever reason, I guess I'm burning from like sleep deprivation and overconsumption of caffeine. Because for whatever reason, I thought that was different. I thought the piano was different. I'm like, wait a second. That sounds different, but it's not really. Did we write the poem though? I stayed up way too late last night. Because I mean, it's going to be interesting. Our poem has to be written for Natsuki. I'd only intended to send one message to Natsuki just so that she had my number 2, and then you ended up talking forever. Quickly turned to conversation. Lasted pretty much all evening into the night. Ha, dumbass. She's almost a different personality on the phone, using tons of emoji and cute language. That's interesting, because this was text that they used when we met with Natsuki on, what was it, Sunday, during the game to work. So this is actually interesting. This is kind of what I was hoping Fallen Angel would do. It would take, like, some of the aspects later in the game, push them forward, because we were so, like, I guess... since we were gravitating towards Yuri so much and so like, I guess, what would you call it, so like fond of her. So like, we're front loading this so we can make room to like learn more about Natsuki, I guess. So we don't need to like really go through this when we eventually like meet up. She also really likes complaining about things, so I kind of saw one coming. It's like life. We ended up agreeing to meet after class and walk to a club room together. So here I am, still outside class 3B. It's going to be interesting, though, to see how Sayori reacts to this. I don't really remember how Sayori reacted to us and Yuri last. I remember... Oh, yeah, and Fallen Angel. I remember the last day she reacted to us very negatively. Because, I mean... But I guess we weren't really flaunting it as much in Fallen... Well, we kind of were. No, we weren't really. We were flaunting it a lot in Salvation and like exit music, but Yuri and I, Yuri and the MC weren't really flaunting their relationship in Fallen Angel. It was only really when we brought her to Sayori's place that, you know, she sort of realized what was going on. But now it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, because if we're gonna be like, just like basically exclaiming without exclaiming, we're in a relationship, then it's gonna be interesting to see how Sayori reacts. And Monica, for not necessarily her own interest, but for the interest of the club, might try and break it up, and that would be fairly interesting to see. Because, I mean, if Sayori kills herself, she knows her main focus has to be on Sayori at this point. Because if Sayori killing herself, that is a transition to Act 2, and she knows if the game reaches that point, then it's basically going to end the same exact way it did, and her one chance of basically changing things has been lost. I was quite surprised to find out she's a third year like the rest of the club. That's bullshit. None of us are 30 years. Apparently, I just missed her 18th birthday party a couple of days before I joined up. That's also... No matter how many times you tell me they're all 18, I refuse to believe that. I waited until about 5 minutes after the bell rang. Still no sign of her. Her classroom door is ajar, so I take a peek inside. There she is, Natsuki just packing her books away. Class must have run overtime. She looks pretty annoyed. Seething, actually. Class is only 5 minutes late. Surely she's not that angry about it. I mean, it's probably about something else then. Natsuki, a word if you please. Oh, they're gonna actually, like... Please don't have Natsuki, like, go off on the teacher. That's gonna make me hate her so fucking much. It's like, just suck it up. Yes, ma'am. I won't tolerate outbursts like that in my class any further. Do you understand? Jesus. She's fucking outbursting. What a bitch. Like, oh my god. But they started it. They stole my book. Wait, hold on. Did they, alright. Did they, like, actually steal her book, or were they just, like, fooling around with it? And, like, why didn't the teacher do anything about that? Like, the teacher has supreme authority over the entire class, basically. Even if they don't, like, Even if no one recognizes it, they effectively do. So they can like end something like that on a whim. Teacher produces the item in question for a drawer, clearly having been confiscated. She looks down at her nose at the cover. I can't see well, but there's a lot of pink pastel pink on it. She reads the title aloud. Cupcake Princess. Her face contorts with distaste as she says it and pops the manga volume on the desk in front of Natsuki. What the fuck is going on? Like, so it's a manga. I thought it was just like some book, like maybe a poetry book or whatnot, but it's like a manga. So, what kind of fucking class is this? Like, is the that's how you really know like the teacher is doing a shit job, when people are like fighting in like the middle of class and then like it's like over some dumb shit like this. Like, my greatest teacher, he instilled a sense of fear in us. Like, granted, I mean, some people would say that's sort of like toxic or whatnot, but he was a great teacher nonetheless. Like, he was excellent. He was an English teacher, by the way. So like, he was excellent at like sort of, what would you call it? He was excellent at teaching, basically. I'm not an English person, but I really loved his class. And not only that, it was so much so where like basically we had to call him Mister. If we ended up just calling him by his last name, then that would have been bad. And yeah, that's just that's how you kind of know a sign of a crappy teacher, when they're not, because like there's two ways you can do it. Like, you can be authoritative like that, but also you can like sort of, in a sense, like get to know the students because like, well, I guess my English teacher did do that. Like, he was friendly with all the students. Like, I'd say like there's probably only a couple students who didn't really like them, but that's because they're like the rebellious teenage type or whatnot. But basically every single kid in his class liked him. So you can do it through that, or sort of like the other way around. You develop like the authority through like sort of getting to know and like relating to the students. I have another teacher who did something like that, or he was like a new teacher, so like it's a lot easier for him because my English teacher is really old, but for him, he was like a new teacher, like fresh like into teaching or whatnot, and that's sort of like how he did it. And like, no, his class was, this was actually the same year too, but his class was one of the more peaceful ones, where like there wasn't like random shit going on behind his back, because everyone was like focused on him and like the lesson and whatnot. And they're both good in their own way. It's just sort of like, you can develop it one way or another. You can eventually like develop like the order through like your authority, and eventually like everyone sort of like respects you, and then like eventually it's sort of like, rather than sort of being like a dictatorship, it's more like everyone just like stays in line, and then it's like, but it's not necessarily because they have to, but it's because I guess that's how it is now. Like, that's how, because it wouldn't make sense for them not to. So I'm digging a hole. All right, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Was this worth reacting the way you did, using language like that? So, alright, so it's like severe language. Yes, they took my stuff and started tossing it around. No one would help me. Alright, so I figured, like, because if they actually stole the book, then, like, what the fuck is the teacher doing? If it's stuff like this, like, in the middle of fucking class, why is the teacher not doing anything about that? And in my defense, they are a pair of cunts. Miss Shirai, this is exactly the kind of immaturity I've come to expect from you. That's interesting. That's interesting. Natsuki Shirai. Never actually figured any of the characters' last names. It's fitting, Natsuki Shirai, I would say. But I mean, this mod's really trying to place... It's interesting what this mod's doing, because it's placing Natsuki in sort of like a victim position. Even though she might have brought it upon herself, the mod's still placing her in that sort of victim position. Like, I wouldn't say she's a victim here. I mean, granted, the teacher should have done something, but I mean... Natsuki, like, I guess, outbursts, she should have used physical force. I would say that would be the move. Like, physically grab onto whoever's taking her book and then just, like, get the book. Like, or whatnot, as opposed to, like, having a giant outburst. Because that shows you use, like, that sort of, like, shows that you're not afraid to, like, basically do it yourself. And, like, that's sort of, like, more the authoritative route, where it's, like, rather than, like, trying to, like, disturb the whole class, you just do it. And the teacher asks, like, you know, what the fuck was that? Why are you touching that person? It's like, you know, they stole my book, and I didn't want to, like, disrupt the class, so I figured I might as well do it myself. As opposed to, like, I'm going to spare your detention this once, because those two shouldn't have taken your belongings. Alright, there it goes. Because the problem with... Alright, All right, now our TED Talk time. The problem with teachers is they're not willing to like punish people. They're trying to like make compromises because of whatnot. They don't want to like bring down the hammer. So like my one teacher, all right, so my one teacher, this was my junior year of high school. So it's the same teacher, the one who's authoritative. And I made it sound like he was a bad guy, but I'm trying to say he wasn't. He developed like a sort of, I guess he used his authority as a teacher in order to develop a liking from the class. Because the class, they knew the rules, they knew the boundaries, and they were comfortable staying within them because they don't benefit from leaving them. That sounds like some sort of dystopia, but I mean, they were perfectly like, they were perfect. This was a perfect class, I would say. Everything went perfectly, like nothing went wrong. And I mean, granted, we still like sort of goofed around because he's the type of teacher where you would get him talking and rambling, and then he would talk for the whole class period. But I mean, once he caught on, he stopped. But I mean, that was still a bit fun. But anyway, so we had a research paper that we wrote, and he basically said, "Don't be the first person to fail the research paper. If you don't turn it in on time, you're getting a 0." And this was for our assignments. He's like, if you don't turn the assignment in on time, you're getting a 0. Because let's say you turn it in a day or two late. That gives you a day or two more to work on it. And if I didn't deduct points, is basically what he was saying, then you would ultimately get a higher grade than someone who worked to meet the deadline because they would have had less time to work on it. And that's unfair for them because they actually made the deadline as opposed to you, being lazy and just like missing the deadline. He's like, he really also, even though he's authoritative, he really stressed doing the right thing. Not necessarily because it's the rules, but because it's life. He talked a lot about college. Some of the stuff he said was right, some was wrong, but ultimately that's basically it. And he's like, and there was the big research paper. He's like, don't be the first person to like not turn in the research paper, because if you don't turn it in, then I'm giving you a 0 and you're going to fail the class and have to take it again. And, like, he wasn't joking. I mean, granted, everyone turned it in. That's sort of, like, because he developed this sort of respect from authority. Everyone's, like, no one was doubting him. But, I mean, ultimately, what this led to is we had a speech on our research paper. And you could sort of tell between the kids who, like, sort of prepared and practiced their speech versus those who didn't. And he ultimately ended up grading the speech mostly on, like, basically your presentation as opposed to what the content was. I mean, granted, there still were, like, points you needed to hit for content. But, I mean, I ultimately got a really good grade. Not because the speech was good. It was about, like, 9/11, the War on Terror. But, like, ultimately because I gave a really good presentation. And someone else, like, 5 people did, like, speeches on weed. One of them, they fucking bombed the presentation. And then I heard them, like, talking after class. Let's call him Josh. I'm not gonna, like, give a name. But they were really, like, basically begging him to, like, retake it. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you. You knew what had to be done and you didn't do it, so now you have to face the consequences. It's kind of like that. But, like, you need to do that so that people learn. But the teacher in this game, and this isn't just in the game, because there are teachers like this in real life aren't quite common, where basically they're unwilling to, like, punish people. It's like, if people are, like, acting up in class, you need to bring them down. You need to punish them. You need to, like, make sure that no one does that shit again, because that's not only disrupting your class, but, like, everyone else who wants to learn. So it's like, just a couple or few people doing what the hell they want, like, is negatively affecting everyone else. And just saying, like, oh, these two shouldn't have taken your belongings, but you shouldn't have acted up, so where I'm gonna say, like, I'm not gonna punish anyone, really. That's a sign of weakness, and that's a sign of cowardness, and that's, like, not all teachers are that way. It's just education system. That's where the education system is failing. It's failing to, like, what's the word? There's a really good word for this. It's like basically payoff, like mainly in, I guess, the teaching department, because and I guess that's more so related to personality. But I mean, yeah. It's really failing the teachers because it's not preparing the teachers enough and not basically creating good teachers. Or, yeah, there is a really good word for this, but I don't exactly know what it is. Oh, retention. It's not having a really good retention rate. We're putting like teachers through education, and they're not good teachers. Like they're doing shit like this. Like they're not learning what needs to be done in order to make a class run efficiently and smoothly. But thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Destroy my class again. I'll see if they make up all that wasted time in your lunch breaks. Oh, she needs those. She needs those. She better not act out again. Are we clear? But they will be dealt with separately. Alright, that's... But, I mean, teachers say this and they don't end up doing that. Only because Ashina's dad's golf buddies with the principal. Alright, yeah, Natsuki. That's, not gonna lie, that's a dumb fucking snarky comment to make. Shouldn't have made that. Ashina's dad's golf buddies with the principal. The principal... Just... Alright, what's the principal gonna do? Fire you because you're punishing... Like, listen. I could understand if it was, like, some sort of secretary or whatnot. Or, like, some person with an important position. But, like, golf buddies... The principal's not gonna do shit if you, like, give it attention to a student. Because, I mean, it golf buddies with their dad. And I guess the principal, I mean, they shouldn't really be, like, doing that to begin with. They should be running school. But, I mean, that's not really... I guess that's more so like a superintendent thing. That's enough. You're walking a fine line right now. Yeah, Natsuki, she's... Alright, not gonna lie. She's being dumb as fuck in this situation. She's actually being a bitch. I was willing to be empathetic to her situation, but now I have, like, zero empathy for her. You just have to take it and move on. Get out before I change my mind. Take that garbage with you. She gestures to the manga on the table. I mean, granted, she shouldn't have, like, insulted or, like, shown her distaste in the manga before, but, I mean, when Natsuki's acting up, yeah, that's kind of where it's like, by the way, your manga is trash. Get that shit out of my classroom now. Don't ever come back. Maybe manga can find you some mature reading material. It might do your attitude some good. Damn, so she knows Natsuki's in the literature club or whatnot. So I guess she also knows Monica. Damn, that also must explain, if shit like this happens, like, on the regular, that must explain Natsuki's distaste for, like, Monica in a sense. Stifling a further protest, Natsuki wordlessly grabs a book, turns, and heads for the door. Not gonna lie, she dug herself that hole. She's really good at this, digging herself into holes. You have to take it and move on. Like, don't argue. Like, even if you know you're right, don't argue, because you can't change what people think. That's... I'm not getting political, but that's, like, somewhat my political philosophy. That's why I'm not really actively political around people I know. Like, I know people like that, how they... Like, one of my friends is unironically a communist, but I mean, not going to mention names. Let's also call him Josh. I'm just going to use... No, I should, because one of my friends' names is Josh, but he's not them. I'll just use I don't know, I'll use a different name, one that I don't know. Some, like, Robin. Play on my name, but, or like Crow or whatnot. I'll just use my own name. Alright, let's call this person Raven. He's unironically communist, and he's very active, like, vocal about it. I mean, he's only really driving my passion for my, like, I'd say I'm, like, sort of opposite from him politically, but not really, because I'm not, like, an extremist or whatnot, but, yeah, it's only making my passion, like, more. So if I were to, like, actively be vocal about my politics, I can assume that someone like him, it would just make his passion more, as opposed to, like, sort of, like, bringing us closer together. It would drive us further apart. It's kind of like that in this situation. Rather than try and, like, argue your point, you just have to take it. Her eyes be mine for a horrible moment and a duck into a corner. She already saw you. What the fuck are you trying to do? Alright. Hey Natsuki. What? You ready for a literature club? I've got parfait girls with me. Shall we go and read the next chapter? Sure. You start to walk towards the club room, up the stairs and past the vocational classrooms. Now she's just been staring straight the whole entire time, not saying so much as a word. The tension is getting to be too much for me. I have to break silence. I open my mouth without any kind of plan of what to say, and a few awkward noises come out. He didn't even say a word, you dumbass. You got something to say? I was just wondering what happened back there. Is someone giving you trouble? I've got it under control, okay? I know you don't. If that's under control, then we live in fucking, I don't know, a society. Are you sure? You can talk to me about it if you like. Do you want me to say something to them even? That's... Alright, man. That's a god-awful suggestion. Because you realize it's just going to make them bully her even more. Because they're going to be like, oh, look who brought their boyfriend into the situation. That's a god-awful idea. Oh, just no. What are you going to do? Step in and be the big hero, saving the damsel in distress? It's not going to work. I don't need a knight in shining armor to save you, no. You need rationality to save you. I know. What do you mean, you know? You're a strong girl. You can take care of yourself. But you don't have to. That's what friends are for, right? Nice try, Raven. But people here are all the same. What? No one thinks I can do anything myself. You can't really. I mean, if you dig yourself into a hole, everyone treats me like I'm a kid. With that, Natsuki enters the club room. I mean, that is entirely her fault. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Like, people can say it's about her size and stature or whatnot, but if she dropped the toxic tsundere attitude, then no one would really treat her like a kid. Like, even if she was into cutesy stuff, if she was, like, mature, let's say she was still into her manga, but she had sort of, like, the attitude of Yuri, no one would say, like, she's a kid. If she was, like, especially if she was, like, actually smart. Like, if she made, like, an effort in class to, like, sort of, like, do well on stuff, even if she, like, likes manga and because of her size stature, no one's really going to think she's a kid. They'll think, like, heh, it's funny, like, she's kind of cute for, like, but no one's going to be like, yeah, she acts like a kid. They would say, like, yeah, even though she's kind of, like, has this cutesy persona, she's really actually mature. Damn it, I just wanted to help her. I follow her inside. You can't really do anything about personality. Natsuki glances around. It's kind of like, you can do stuff about character. You can't do stuff about personality. Because I know how I degrade myself sometimes. And that's mainly, like, when I say, like, how I'm an ass, but I'm not stubborn. Because, like, it's the difference between character and personality. Character is who you are and what you do. Personality is what you think and how you act. So, like, I could be an ass, like, my personality could be, like, you know, I could be an ass. But my character, like, I could be, like, if someone's willing to drop an argument, it takes the better man to, you know, like, put your differences aside and, like, sort of accept that. I could be, like, if I had a toxic character, I would continue the argument. But because I'd like to think I have good character and, like, a not so good personality, but, like, I'm like, yeah, there's no point in arguing anymore. It's just negatively it's harming both of us. So Monaca's in the club room. That's interesting. She must really be late then. But I mean, what could she possibly be doing? She said to delete her if she ever, like, goes AWOL. But is this the start of it? I don't know. But I mean, because I mean, she shouldn't have, like, be fucking with the code anymore, considering her top priority now, as opposed to getting with us, is keeping the literature club intact. And I thought we were late. I know, that's why I'm like, where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. It's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She's probably just had something to do today. And I mean, it's because I guess Monica never really pays attention to Natsuki. It's always Sayori, us, Yuri. Natsuki's kind of like the last one. But I mean, considering, so Natsuki's attitude towards Monica is probably worsened in this version as opposed to the original in a sense. Or at least because we learned about, not necessarily worse, but we just ended up learning about how bad it could potentially be. Or someone. That's her, sort of her getting at Monica. She's like spreading rumors that she's like, yeah, she probably has a boyfriend. You don't think she has a, I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. I love how we don't do anything about this. We just let them talk about that, or let Yuri, like, make that comment. That's because that's kind of like, if Sayori said that, that'd be a fucking red flag. Yuri, that's kind of out of left field, but that's still not necessarily, like, a good thing to, like, say. That's true. Excuse me? She's like, speak for yourself. Natsuki, not gonna lie, Natsuki's the most toxic out of all of them. Suddenly a door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monaco chose the club over a boyfriend after all. And then Sayori just leads off with that sentence. You're so strong-willed. That's hardest of choices require the strongest of wills. Choosing, but not gonna lie, I would choose my girlfriend over the club. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I'm just gonna say it. Boyfriend? I wish. Monica quizzically glances at me. It's questionable. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You have heard the bell ring, at least. I might have not heard since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't where you play music as well, Monica. I don't really. Just kind of started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. But she shouldn't have to end up playing your reality if everything goes right. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay. That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Raven. Just like everyone else jumps off the screen. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Well, I mean, wait a second. Because something went down, because I remember her saying this, and then we were actually in the club and something did went down, but I guess apparently in this timeline we weren't. You'll have to ask Yuri Sayori. We weren't exactly misspelled on time either. Yeah, because, wait, what happens originally? Was it Sayori? It was something between Sayori and Natsuki. But I mean, considering, because this is some sort of alternative timeline, we weren't here for that. Things are already starting to deviate. I choose to leave out Natsuki's little altercation with the teacher. Yeah, that's not really, like, club-related. I should ask her about that later. I was so busy trying to get her out there that I didn't think to inquire. What? You did. You asked her questions. Do they always treat her like that? Oh, I guess, yeah, you missed one. Looks like everyone's already settled down for now. I mean, you can kind of assume so. Sayori's conversing with Monica and the finer points of beginner's piano. Oh, that's interesting. Yuri's back to her booth, and Natsuki's looking over to me with a surprisingly analytical gaze. Questionable. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to me expectantly. Are we doing this or what? Yeah. Don't worry, I said I had it, didn't I? I pulled the first volume of Parfait Girls out of my bag. I'm like, I hope he forgets it. I want to read it with Yuri again. Natsuki takes it from my hands and quickly turns it over, presumably to check for wrinkles. Hey, I'm not that careless. I handle manga all the time, you know. Loser. I just wanted to make sure. Can you blame me for being paranoid? Yeah. I don't give people my manga every day, you know. That's true, but if it's someone you trust, I don't blame you. Well, anyway, let me put this one back. I'm gonna get the next one, okay? Natsuki makes her way to the closet. I follow. So you're gonna tell me everything you thought, right? Where did this finally leave off again? I forget. The chapter ended when Minori now found Monica. Natsuki's voice resonates from the inside of the closet. We're really going through this shit again, aren't we? That doesn't bode well. I peer inside. All of Natsuki's books are lined up on the top shelf. Did you move my manga again? Ha! Moving them to the top shelf. I mean, that's questionable, though. I mean, unless she actually had to move them to the top shelf for whatever reason. If she was just doing it on her own accord, now this might be the time to actually end up, like, deleting Monica's character file. Because this is a sign of, like, burning bridges as opposed to building them, which is something I do when I'm trying to work on. But, like, doing something like this, like, is kind of passive-aggressive. And it could be a sign that, you know, Monica's starting to, like, revert. I mean, this is the earliest I'd be able to detect it, because I didn't really, like, see it before this. Or at least there wasn't really any sort of, like, reason before to suspect that, you know, she was still, like, sort of trying to, like, divide everyone. But this is, like, something. I don't know. She might be doing that, though, as it would be out of character for her to just, like, not do it, I guess. I don't really know. Because it's about, like, maintaining her sort of, like, character and personality in front of the other girls, too, but also trying to, like, save everyone at the same time. It's complicated. Sorry. Teacher got mad at me for taking up so much space in her closet. Alright, so it was actually just because, like, logistically. So I had to move some stuff around and clean up a little bit. It's all still there. I just had to organize it a bit. The top shelf is far above Natsuki's head. Oh my god, we're gonna go through this fucking scene again. She makes a futile hop, trying to figure out how to reach her manga. Just have us do it. Yeah, no. Apparently we're taller than Yuri. I'm moving all these back down. There's plenty of room on these shelves. And besides, they're really pretty to look at when they're all lined up. Why would you waste that on the top shelf? Natsuki, because I don't care about aesthetics. It's all about practicality and efficiency. There's a stool on the wall right there. In the closet there's a collapsible stool. It's hanging on the wall. If you want, I can reach up there and hand them to you. What is it with you? She can't just accept, like, fucking help. Like, what's her problem? Look at me, I'm Raven. Natsuki can't do anything for herself. This is the toxic, defensive, like, sort of insecure attitude. Like, here's the thing. One of my friends, who's a girl, is taller than me. That's just how things are. And, like, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm so macho, I can do everything myself. Like, no, you have to give a little. You have to give a little and take a little, you know? Gee, I hope she doesn't swallow her tongue or something. Natsuki grabs the stool from the wall and unfolds it a little too violently. Breaks it. What is this? What is it this time? You think I'm too short or something? I mean, in this particular case, we should have just been like, yes. I knew it. Well, you know what? Just watch me. Natsuki hops on the stool, which ends up being a little wobbly because of its collapsible design. Just like, she falls, breaks her back, gets injured. Careful. I know what I'm doing, jerk face. Staying on the stool, Natsuki's fingertips reach the top shelf. The stool would be enough for me to easily grab the books, but Natsuki's being stubborn as usual. At least we're accepting of that fact. This isn't like exit music where we're basically siding with her in every single fucking scenario and saying she's like perfect and flawless. Or no, that isn't. Was that exit music? Yeah, that was exit music. Natsuki uses her fingers to scoot one of the smaller boxes to the edge of the shelf. See? Falls over. The box suddenly tips. Natsuki barely catches it before it falls to the floor. The stool wobbles. What? Losing balance, Natsuki hops off the stool. Thankfully, she is able to stay on her feet. She holds the box triumphantly. Woo, stuck the landing. Heh. Having almost fallen, Natsuki's a bit shaken up. Jeez. Look, you don't need to prove yourself to me. But there's no way you'll be able to get the bigger boxes like that. I can reach them, so just... how are you not getting this? I don't want your help, okay? Fine. I'm gonna get a chair, so just hang on. Just leave her be at this point. I mean, you can't really, like, do anything. Natsuki forces her way past me out of the closet. Let's see. Classroom chairs have desks attached, so they're too inconvenient to fit in the closet. Aha! Natsuki trots over to the teacher's desk, which has a computer chair behind it. She rolls it on its wheels back over to the closet. It's a little dangerous since the chair swivels and rolls. That's questionable. But I've already learned my lesson, so I keep my mouth shut. Also, what the fuck is this closet? Why does it have 2 doors? I've never noticed that, but anyway, I can't believe she literally stole us from Yuri this month. I'm so salty about that. Natsuki climbs into a chair and slowly bounces onto her feet. Since she refuses my help, I take a seat with my back against the side of the doorway and simply watch. Alright. There we go. No, we're not even close to seeing up her fucking skirt. See, I can easily do it now. Natsuki grabs a stack of manga and bends down to put it on the shelf below. What? The chair swivels. Natsuki catches herself on the top shelf. What are you doing? Can you at least hold the chair steady instead of sitting and doing nothing? Nah. Wait, what? Who's it who told me not to help? Yeah. Oh, did her face changed? I don't think I know that, I don't think I acknowledged that in the original game. Yeah, I got you. I hold the chair while Natsuki reaches back up. I can almost see up her skirt. Fucking, oh crap. I forced myself to turn away. Natsuki seriously didn't think this through. Once she realizes I'll be dead, what's she gonna do? Natsuki wraps her arms around the Parfait Girls box set, easily the largest one on the shelf. Geez, this is the big one. Hey, Raven. I don't think I can bend down without falling. Hurry and take this one. But I have to let go of the chair. That's fine. Just for a second. Hurry up. Alright, let me just stand up. I slowly release my grip from the chair. What do you mean stand up? Natsuki looks down at me. Why are you all the way back? Oh, hell no. Oh, we're really going through this. Alright. What the actual fuck is going on now? Like, what? Alright. Because this wasn't in the original game. We're already, like, it's almost sort of like just us being new here is, like, fucking compounding her, like, toxic attitude. Natsuki looks like she just realized something, but she'll lose her balance as she moves. Natsuki, the box. What in the hell are you looking at? Natsuki, the box. You're trying to look at mine. Natsuki's like shake. Natsuki, the box. You perv. You set me up. Go away. This was you. Alright, just dip. Watch her, like, fall, break her back, die. But I'll do it myself. The chair suddenly swells beneath Natsuki's feet. Natsuki. The scene turns into chaos in a split second. The chair flies from under Natsuki's feet. Frantically, I try to catch her. The box topples out of her hands and books go flying. I got you. Crash. Full force of Natsuki's body against me throws me to the ground. A whole bunch of books pound me in the face. I love how no one notices this going on. Like, everyone's just like, leave them be. Natsuki tries to shield herself with her own arms as her face lands straight on my chest. My right arm and back seriously felt the impact. I already have back problems. Slowly Natsuki comes to her senses. She presses her arm straight into me and props herself up. Jesus! Just no respect, Natsuki seems to realize that it's not the floor that's beneath her. What? Gross. Yeah. A hard punch from a powerful tiny fist strikes my chest. Is this actually in the original game? Like, how are people attracted to this? Like, just like, they have like some sort of like, I don't know, abusive fetish or whatnot? Like, what? Natsuki then hoists herself to her feet. Just like toxic. Definition of toxic. What were you thinking? You sick son of a... Everything okay over there? Now, like... Wait, if Monica played through the original game, she should know what's already happened. Or, like, what... Well, I guess not necessarily, because we could have gone someone else's route, but... I heard a loud noise. Monica suddenly peers in. Oh, wow, am I interrupting something? She's like, oh, I'll leave you to be. Monica, see what happens when you put the manga on the top shelf? Are you trying to kill your club members or something? Good one there. This is in the original game, though. That's good. Jeez. Sorry. She's just like, you hit the nail right on the head. Oh, and one more thing. Seems like your most recent club member is a total pervert. What are you gonna do about it? Kick me out? So I hope you're happy. Monica shoots me a disappointed look. She's actually like believing Natsuki. Monica, I swear to God. To be fair, this looks really bad. I didn't do anything, I swear. I know, don't worry. Monica says that quietly to me, her mouth contorted into a smirk as she wanders off. It's like I'm off the hook. Oh no. I look down. Natsuki's kneeling on the floor, holding one of the books that are scattered all over. There's a large diagonal crease along the page that she's desperately trying to smooth out. Like, who cares? You can still read the fucking book. Like, does it need to be in mint condition? Must have landed on the page. Natsuki tries a bit more to fix the crease, but she can't get out. Suddenly, she gives up and slams the book shut and throws it to the floor. Instead of continuing the out, she just lowers her head. Stop. Natsuki, are you? No. No, I'm not crying. What are you talking about? Natsuki's voice squeaks. I see tears on her face. I'll help get the crease out, okay? It's partially my fault, so Natsuki shakes her head, still looking down. No, I don't even care that much. I'm just having a really bad day today. So I guess, because this is actually interesting. This mod is actually really well done. I didn't expect it to be as good as Exit Music. But I mean, because it gives like backstory. Because in the original game, in like DDLC, she does say this line, she's having a really bad day, but we don't really know the context behind it. But because the mod had us see her interaction with her teacher, we know she's having a really bad day. Like, it's clear that the mod creators went through, not gonna lie, this mod is superior to Fallen Angel in that sense, because Fallen Angel just ripped a lot of the original game's dialogue, like the Act 1 dialogue, without like any sort of care or whatnot. But it does really seem like the mod creators for this mod went back and basically looked at Act 1 and looked at interactions that they could build upon. This is really well done. I'm not even gonna lie. Not only that, you also have the only questionable stuff was sort of like Monica's actions, but I mean, like, you can't really change that. So like, and I guess she did end up putting them on the top shelf. Now that's some sort of passive-aggressive play, but just because, like, logistically. But yeah, I mean, this mod is really, and I look, honestly, this mod has my hopes up high. This might even beat out Exit Music. I'll have to see. This is a really great mod. Like, I didn't expect this to be as good as, like, I expected it to be around, like, Fallen Angels level. Not necessarily, like, up there with, like, Exit Music and Salvation, but there's clearly been some time and thought put into this mod. Natsuki sobs again. I didn't mean to take it out on you. I really didn't mean to. All you've done all day is be nice to me and try to help me. And once again, I've just been a total bitch. And I guess we know about her situation yesterday. And it's interesting, because we got to see her sort of like, well, I mean, granted, we didn't like figure out she was looking for coins to buy something because her father doesn't feed her. But I mean, we ended up like sort of like having, I guess, some sort of interaction where like it didn't necessarily drop everything immediately, which was somewhat good. But I mean, yeah, this is sort of like her, I guess, redeeming moment in a sense, where like yesterday she somewhat, I guess, redeemed herself, like with Yuri and whatnot. But that was sort of like more so for her and Yuri. Now this is like for her and us. This is like a connection moment between us and her. Because like yesterday was sort of like, I'm sorry, all right, everyone, let's go home. But now it's like she's actually like sort of like starting to realize her faults and whatnot. It's all I ever do. Why do you even hang out with me? It's fine, it's fine. Is there anything you want to talk about? Natsuki shakes his head. Yeah, I don't think that was in the original game's dialogue. I think that was added just every day. It's so hard. In class. At home. At home. What? Yeah, now this is an art hint. I like how the mod's hinting it. Because, like, mods like this, they straight up, like, Exit Music. I mean, granted, Exit Music was a lot more obvious. Like, Natsuki with, like, bruises and cuts. Like, we knew something was up. And, like, I guess, ultimately, in Salvation and whatnot. But, like, this mod is sort of like the original game in a sense. Where it's still sort of, like, it's hinting at her struggles, but not necessarily giving them to us. And in fact, hinting it at the hints may be subtle enough as to where the MC won't catch up on it. But granted, that is like he's sort of like that's like he's actually like realizing, or like he's like not even realizing, just like questioning. He's like, "Did you say at home? What does she mean by that?" Granted, she didn't question her looking under the vending machine, but I just want to come to a club and now see false sound again. Can't press her, so I don't know what I know how to do. Alright, well, I'll help clean this up, and I'll move the rest of your manga for you. Pick up Volume 2 Pythagoras. We'll set this one aside. This will help cheer you up a bit, right? I've been looking forward to this all day. Natsuki looks at me with her glossy eyes. Her lip quivers. You're a really sweet guy, you know? Huh? That sounds really strange coming from Natsuki. I didn't expect this at all, and I end up blushing up to my ears. I'm not sure if this is in the original game's dialogue. I don't go Natsuki's route enough to know. My chest feels tight. Why am I so nervous all of a sudden? Well, I'm just treating you like a friend, you know? A friend, huh? Natsuki lowers her head and stifles another sob. After seeing what you went through in Class A, being nice is the least I could do. What do you mean about home? Thinking about it gives you a feeling of dread that you just can't shake. Yeah, so now, alright, this is sort of like, because it hinted at it with the, like, coin thing. But I mean, well, no, she might have not even been looking for coins. That might have just been, like, I guess a coincidence. But, I mean, now it's just like, yeah. The next couple of minutes are silent between us as I begin gathering the scrapbook. So now we're starting to, like, catch on. We're like, wait, that's not normal what she said. Is something up? Make sure to slip them in the box in the correct order. After a little bit, Natsuki starts helping. It isn't long before we're done and hoist the box onto the shelf where Natsuki wanted to put it. I thought hoist, and I'm like, you're really putting it on the top shelf again. Then I get on the stool and quickly finish moving the rest of her books from the top shelf. Alright, that should do it. I hop off the stool. Natsuki averts her gaze. Thanks. Haha. It's nothing. Natsuki's holding the volume and set aside in her hands. Alright, I'm ready. Good. Even if you weren't, I'd make you anyway. You're taking responsibility for what you said. Think about cheering me up. If you insist. Oh, and Raven, did you really, you know, not look up my skirt? We're finally putting closure on this issue. No, ma'am, I did not. Heh, you're lost. The fuck? I guarantee you she's wearing some, like, fucking, like, what do you call it? Like, teddy bear panties or whatnot. Just, like, some fucking random-ass design. But I'm actually probably gonna end it here. This was actually a really bad recording or, like, episode or whatnot because it was, like, me talking for half the time. Which is what it generally is, but there's normally actually progression in the game. But I mean, yeah. So, like, this, I guess, I can spend some time talking about the mod in general. I can actually, like, go to the menu. Just triple save. Standard. Alright, so, fuck. I forgot it wasn't like Fallen Angel where it has different music. But, yeah, so this mod so far is really good. I'd say it's up there as of now with exit music. I'd say it even beats out Salvation. Because what sort of differentiates exit music and Salvation is exit music, like, Salvation sort of just like, I guess, it ultimately ends with Monica's sort of like, I guess, what do you call it, like her incident or whatnot. But I mean, it doesn't really focus about the problems of the other characters. It mentions them, but it doesn't really, like, they don't really have any sort of impact on the main plot line, which is us being with Sayori. While exit music, it does. Us being so fixated on Natsuki has a negative impact on the rest of the characters. And I guess another reason I really like exit music is it's sort of like a Monica redemption mod, where she, in a sense, is like, wait, so this isn't right, I need to fix this, and it ultimately ends up falling short. But I mean, yeah, but this mod I think is starting to beat out, what would you call it, Salvation. I mean, it's a bit ironic that both of the Natsuki mods like this, where like, it's not necessarily dancing, but it's fixated, or focused on her character and her problems, beat out the Yuri and Sayori mod. But I mean, I have high expectations for this mod now, because like, with Fallen Angel, not gonna lie, it was kind of lazily done, where they just stole a lot of the original, what would you call it? They stole a lot of the original Act 1 dialogue, and eventually, through the first and second deviation, they strayed away from it. But I mean, up to that point, it was basically just playing through the DLC. But with this game, they take the original game's dialogue, which a lot of this mod has been. However, they give us background to it. And the main example is what happened today with Natsuki and her teacher. And granted, how we saw that. It gave background to some of the original dialogue. So the dialogue, even though it's the same, it's not necessarily like thrown in there. It is like built upon what the mod offers is like a difference. So it's sort of like, it gives, in a sense, it just expands like our perspective on it. Where like we see more like incidents that lead to like, I guess, I don't know. Granted, there was some deviation where Natsuki obviously ran out of the classroom as opposed to us picking sides, and about Monica and how, you know, she sort of like, we could sort of tell like in the beginning that something was up, like her dialogue was changed or whatnot, and then she ultimately met with us and like basically talked about the mod or whatnot, about how basically it's different, and that, I mean, she's gonna try and make things right or whatnot, and that if she does anything to kill her. And I do think, unfortunately, that she is going to end up going AWOL at the end, or at least maybe like revert to her original state, or like her original sort of like, I don't even know what you would call it, but her original like character. But yeah, I'm really, this is a really great mod. I didn't expect it to be too good, which is probably why it seems so good. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say. So yep, that's it for today. Tomorrow it is then.